Hey, happy 4th of July, everybody. James Reeves with TFB TV. I know what you're thinking, this doesn't look like a normal TFB TV video, and it's not, because today we're going to do a little family-friendly TFB TV video. We've got a saying at the Reeves residence for 4th of July: lots of laughs and arts and crafts. So that's what we're going to do today, a little arts and crafts. For our project today, we're going to do a $15 handgun refinishing job. How could it be done? I know you're asking yourself that. Well, I'm going to show you today, partner. Now, it's going to be a hot one, so I got a glass of ice water here, keep myself hydrated. I recommend that you do the same. Before we get down to the nitty-gritty here, a lot of people said, James, are you going to do a Summer Jams playlist like you did last year? And the answer is yes. In fact, you're going to see the Summer Jams playlist link below. It's going to be Spotify instead of Google Play like last year. Also, like last year, the playlist was called Jams Like a 1911. This year, it's going to be called Pops Like a Drop P320. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Maybe fire it up whenever you're doing your own arts and crafts project for Independence Day at home. Anyways, it is warm today, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got a Ruger P94. I bought it from auction for maybe $200. It doesn't really make sense for me to spend $100, $200 on a sweet Duracoat or Cerakote job for a gun that I paid 200 bucks for. And this is a heck of a nice gun, guys. If you're not familiar with the Ruger P series, go back and see my review on the Ruger P89 pistol. I love these guns. I've got three of them: the P89, the P94, which is the compact version of the P89, and the P95, which is the polymer frame version. As you guys can see here, this frame's got all kinds of oopsies all over it, and it's not really in that great of shape. So we figure, may as well protect the finish. It's got a steel slide. Protect the finish, make it look a little bit nicer with a $15 refinish job. So I went down to the hardware store, got 3 cans of paint for $5 because we're going to do a special little theme. But theoretically, if you wanted to stick to one color, or like FDE or black, then theoretically you could spend $5 and buy 1 can of paint, use some household items that you have lying around your home, and do a pretty good finish job. That's what we're going to do today. So we're getting started by blasting everything off with non-chlorinated brake cleaner. You don't want to use chlorinated brake cleaner because it can be a little bit too oppressive on some parts of your gun and can cause them to deteriorate, especially polymers, maybe even aluminum. So go with non-chlorinated brake cleaner. We're going to get all the oils and the gunk off of there. Now, these grip panels are polymer, so we're going to take those out. I'm going to wash these in the sink with soap and water. So you're just going to give it a nice little blast. And make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area, guys. Don't want you getting high while you're doing this. That would be terrible. Give them a little blast, and I like to use a toothbrush to kind of rub off all the gunk and the rust. I should be wearing latex gloves as I do this, but I forgot to pick them up at the hardware store, so do as I say, not as I do. All right, we're gonna go ahead and wipe this off, try to get off the oils from my fingerprints. Anything that would prevent the paint from adhering to the slide, degunk it a little bit. You could use a Brillo pad if you wanted to. This one wasn't too bad, so brake cleaner and a toothbrush and a microfiber towel. Looks like it did the trick just fine. Guys, if you'll excuse me, it is so hot. My forehead's sweating. I'm having a hard time seeing. I'll be right back. Woo! Much better. All right, now let's keep going. I've got some rust-oleum high-performance enamel. I kind of like the engine paints, the industrial type enamels. You've got to get a good base layer if you want your project to go well. So go with like the industrial paints. They make farm equipment paint. Now what you really have to understand, a lot of people do kind of a half-butt job of shaking the cans of their spray paint. So, I mean, usually it's a pain. I get it, it's a pain, but you really got to vigorously shake these things for quite a long time. I really recommend maybe giving these cans that you're going to use, give them to the kids while they're running around. Tell them they're maracas or something. And, well, no, not maracas. It's Independence Day. I know, capitalism. Tell them you'll give them $1 if they can shake it 100 times. That's the way to do it. Then you get these things all ready to go because you need to shake them up pretty well for them to work properly. I like to identify the components that I'm going to mask off and make sure that they don't get any paint on them. Now, if you were a gunsmith or if you were better with your hands than I am, then what you would do, quite simply, is just remove all the parts that you don't want paint to get on them. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mask off this hammer because I want to keep it that nice stainless finish on there. And we're gonna do the same thing with the trigger. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Remember, shake that can up. Easy does it. You see, oh shoot, there goes the top. All right, now we're back in business. All right, guys, easy does it. Be patient. Nice overlapping strokes here. Don't want to concentrate because that's how you get those gross smudges and runs. Nice there we go. See how far away I'm holding it? Oh, that looks good. Look at that. Just nice and easy. All right, guys, I hope you don't mind. I just set up a fan because the wind's kind of blowing this way. I don't want to get paint on my camera, so be mindful of where your overspray goes. Plus, it feels good because it is so damn hot out here. I'm sorry, so darn hot out here right now. This frame's looking pretty good. All right, now let's hit this slide. I should have masked the sights off, but I didn't do that, but that's okay. The sights really aren't great on this gun. I'll probably just go back and hand paint them later. Hitting all the angles, nice and easy, not too much paint. Keep a good distance, and look at that. Looking pretty good. All right, now we're gonna hit these grips. These dry to touch in 15 minutes, dry to handle in 1 to 2 hours. So it is baking out here. In fact, I gotta go change because I have sweat through. Lindsay just washed and ironed this shirt for this video today and I've sweat through it. So I'm gonna go change. I'm gonna go ahead and give them like an hour, hour and a half to dry because the next step's gonna be a little tricky. So I fired up the grill while we waited for everything to cure over here, and now it's time to mask everything off. Really important step. Now that everything is sat here for about an hour and a half and it's ready to handle, we're gonna mask these bad boys off. Try to make some nice straight lines with masking tape here. I'm using a not tacky masking tape. You wanna use something not too tacky because you don't wanna take that finish off that we worked so hard to get on there this morning. And there we go, we got a nice little pattern taking effect here. I wonder what it's gonna be. Now that we got our grip panels masked off here, let's go ahead and move on to the slide in the frame. And I also like to use tin foil as a masking aid. Some people might use plastic wrap, but plastic's bad for the environment. So we're gonna use tin foil. Gonna mask off the front part of the slide here. Then we're going to take our masking tape, apply it to the slide here. All right, gang, so I called a couple of audibles. I made some changes to my masking here just to kind of throw you off my trail. I don't want you guys figuring out what I'm doing here exactly. So we made some last minute changes. We'd have a perfectly good white Krylon rattle can finished gun right now for $5 if we felt like it. But no, we're gonna put a little spin on this thing, a little flair for the holiday. So we paid the kids to run around with our spray paint cans and get them nice and shaken up. And here we go. Looking good. Let's go ahead and get the slide done. Now we still got to do our grips, but I am absolutely baking. It is so fucking hot out here that I am losing it. I will be right back. So I know everybody's really excited to see what we're going to be doing with the grips here, and I don't want to give anything away because we're not done yet, but oh say can you see that we're making some progress. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's really good. That's a great, beautiful shade of blue. So now we're gonna let everything dry for a little bit. We're gonna give it another hour or so, let all this cure, because we got one final step before this thing's done, and then we get to put it all together and appreciate our hard work. All right, guys, we're getting real hot. I'm really anxious to get this thing done with. Burgers are done, beer's cold. Let's finish this thing out. Family friendly, family friendly. We saved a little area on the front of the slide that we masked off with the tin foil. So now we're gonna mask off the red part. Then we got this white part. And you guessed it, we're gonna apply a little blue. Oh, that's looking good. All right, now we gotta let this guy dry, which should take like 10 seconds in this blazing hot sun right now. And then we get to come back, put it all together, celebrate, and be done with it. Enjoy the rest of our 4th of July. So we pulled all the masking off, reassembled the gun, and I hate to say it, but this thing looks pretty goddamn good. I mean, look at that, look at the details. Who would have thought that you would have been able to do something like that with like $15 worth of spray paint? I didn't anticipate such an excellent result. I think it's fantastic, and it was a great little project for the 4th of July. Now, I know there are people out there thinking, James, you made that gun look like a horrific piece of shit. My 6-year-old could have done a better job. I know there are people, believe it or not, I think there are people out there looking at this thing, this masterwork, and thinking that, I guess I would say congratulations, because you just failed the America test. Because I'm telling you right now, if this gun with that paint job doesn't make your cock harder than George Washington's dentures, then I say you're a communist piece of shit. So anyways, guys, thanks a ton for watching, and happy Independence Day.